manufacturer starts to rise, fire reflected in our eyes. Carbon fiber, painted scars, GT4 and GT3 stars, manufacturers side by side, every driver born to fight. Pit lane pressure, countdown screams, living faster than our dreams. Slipstream pulling through the rain, milliseconds decide the game.
Headlights cut through clouds of smoke, every overtake feels close. Front straight shaking from the sound, thousands screaming all around.
No fear when the tires slide, no sleep on this midnight ride. One chance to become immortal now, feel the circuit shake somehow. Full throttle, take the lead, faster than the eye can read. GT legend chasing light, racing wars ignite tonight. Slipstream closer, door to door, hear the engine start to roar. Checker flag above the crowd, podium dreams are calling loud.
We were made for speed, every heart still bleeds.
Push it faster, take the corner, slipstream hunter.
Cross the line,
Push it faster, take the corner, slipstream hunter.
cross the line, yeah. GT3 monster with the aero attack, GT4 pressure while I'm chasing the pack. Every lap dangerous, no room to breathe. One wrong turn and you lose the lead. Manufacturer battle turning savage tonight. Different colors on the grid, but the goals are like AMG hunting while the Porsche stays near. McLaren in the mirrors make the whole crowd cheer. Late break dive on the inside lane, tires smoke rising while we fight through pain. Draft so close I can hear your gears, still standing tall after all these years. Pit crew fast with the strategy calls, one clean stop and we're breaking them all. From the green light launch to the final attack, now the whole damn field trying to hold us back.
Adrenaline under skin, every loss becomes a win. Final sector, final chance, fate is written in this day. Full throttle, take the lead, faster than the eye can read. GT legends chasing light, racing wars ignite tonight. Slipstream closer, door to door, hear the engine start to roar. Checkered flag above the crowd, podium dreams are calling loud.
We were made for speed, every heart still bleeds.
Through the sparks and shattered rain, we return again, again.
Every corner, every scar,
Made us who we really are.
hear the anthem of the track.
No turning back,
Last lap pressure,
full attack. Drivers ready, engine scream. One more lap, one more dream. Full throttle, feel the fire, burning higher and higher. GT4 and GT3, rewriting our history.
manufacturer, kings collide, no surrender, left inside.
Checkered flag falling down.
Good evening, SMA, and welcome to round 5 of the SMA Manufacturers Showdown 2026. Last week, we kickstarted the lockdown phase of the competition, where for the first time ever in SMA, we introduced a special round. It was a sprint double header, which produced all kinds of surprises in what has really shaped up the standings from round 4. It was SAGT Nutcap with the perfect start to his campaign, setting the tone for the start of this lockdown phase. But what has round 5 got in store for us in tonight's race? As we are at the famous 24-hour circuit in the northern France, that is La Sarthe at Le Mans, for this exciting round 5 race in the Manufacturers Showdown, featuring the Gr.3 cars of their chosen manufacturer. And it's myself, Sean Madden, aka FlawedGeniusGaming, here to present to you this enthralling encounter, showcasing the finest talent in Tier 1, and we are live. With myself in the middle, and to my right is promoter and commentator for SMA, Robin Williams. He'll be joining us once the one-shot qualifying starts in about 10 to 15 minutes time. However, to my left is American commentator extraordinaire Lawrence Brown, also known as Tusmbox. Good evening to you. How are you? And are you looking forward to what we have in store for the viewers today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Flawed. One thing I always look forward to whenever I get a new racing game is just how fast we can go. And this track that's coming up, I think we're going to get a really good look at a lot of top speed action.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this is the no chicane variant. A lot of the drivers would normally expect the chicane variant, which there would normally be 2 different chicanes on the chicane variant, but because it's the no chicane, a big long straight, and certainly the drivers probably won't know how fast the cars are capable of. But before we get into all the race details for today, here at SMA we are lucky to be backed by no less than 10 sponsors, so we need to give a huge thank you to each and every one of them for sponsoring us in the Manufacturers Showdown, as without them none of these broadcasts would be possible. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, South Africa's haven for all your sim racing equipment, selling only the highest recommended products from the likes of Fanatec and Moza, as well as racing cockpits for that perfect driving experience. Link is in the description below. Postnet Midstream is a one-stop pit stop that provides businesses and consumers with various services under one roof. Their championship-winning pit crew can assist you with high-quality printing, anything from photos to car branding. Their team principal has an import and export license, so they can either send or collect your spare parts from any track in the world. Postnet Midstream, we keep your business on track. DC Designs, where imagination meets reality. From custom home decor and lifestyle products to specialized gaming and sim racing accessories, DC Designs uses the power of 3D printing to craft items as unique as you are. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind gift, personalized collectibles, or gear to level up your sim rig, DC Designs has you covered. Turn your ideas into reality with DC Designs. Slayer Energy, homegrown in South Africa, it fuels your focus, hits hard and still tastes smooth. That's how Slayer does energy. Their motto is death to dull, and trust us, they live by it. Bold flavours and zero boredom. Slayer, crushing the norm, fueling the madness and keeping every lap electrified.
Wahi & Son Interior Design, transforming your space, elevating your lifestyle. They don't just decorate, they design environments that inspire. Whether it's your home, office or retail space, Wahi & Sons brings your vision to life with style, precision and a personal touch. Jet Tour Palaborwa, where modern design meets everyday performance. Discover a range of stylish, Reliable vehicles built for comfort, adventure, and the road ahead. Backed by innovation and value, Gr.3 is redefining the driving experience because your journey deserves more. Visit Gr.3 Phalaborwa and drive the difference today. Sparko Gaming, where real motorsport heritage meets sim racing performance. Elevate your setup with premium racing seats, accessories and gear designed for true enthusiasts. Built for those who demand precision, comfort and performance on every lap. Because when it comes to racing, every detail matters. Take your racing to the next level with Sparko Gaming.
Tailored solutions for SMEs and hobbyists. Bearded Skull Powder Coaters provides durable, high-performance powder coating services for factories, small businesses and enthusiasts from across Cape Town's northern suburbs and surrounding areas. We focus on a bespoke service, working hands-on with clients to deliver a tailored finish and quick turnaround times for smaller batches. BuildMat. Our aim is to fulfill all your hardware and building material needs at the most competitive prices available. We are committed to providing top-notch quality without any compromises, and we strive to uphold this promise with every customer requirement. Whether you're undertaking a do-it-yourself project or require bulk supplies, we cater to all and assist you in maximising your profits by carefully managing costs. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors supporting us throughout SMA Season 2, the Manufacturers Showdown 2026. So let's run you through the race fixtures for the lockdown phase of this championship. So with the first half of the season complete, we head into round 5 in the Group 3s for the visit of the ferocious Le Mans circuit, the no chicane variant, which is then followed up to the visit of the Aussie Hell. It's Bathurst Mount Panorama next week in the Group 4s, which then brings us to the final manufacturer race held in Japan, the Fuji Speedway, the short version, for round 7 in the Group 3s on June the 29th, before a special double-header, the open wheel special round for the grand finale at Catalunya in the Red Bull Juniors and Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in the Super Formula 23 car on July the 6th to round off this exciting season. Tusmbox, can you run us through the track and the race details for the Circuit de la Sarthe, please?
Absolutely. So today's track is Circuit de la Sarthe, and it goes by the name of the 24 Hours du Mans racetrack in GT7. Sitting at a formidable 13.567 kilometers or 8.430 miles, this is a semi-permanent racetrack which utilizes public roads throughout the circuit. This track is home as the deadliest event in motorsports history, the 1955 Le Mans disaster. And in 1988, we saw the fastest speed recorded here at the track at 407 kilometers an hour, or 253 miles an hour. After that, chicanes were built in 1990. However, we will be tackling the old circuit, and the drivers are going to have a very extended period of time going full throttle for over a minute down the 5.7 kilometer long straight. Now for today's race settings, after a one-shot quali, drivers are going to have to tackle 12 laps of this course. We're at a grid start with a false start check. Now the time of day is going to start in the afternoon, but there is a very fast time pattern, so we're going to see some night racing in this race as well. Tire rate is set at 6x and the fuel consumption is at 2x. Our refuel speed is at 5 liters per second. And if you check the radar, check that weather forecast, there are a few spots of rain predicted to be seen today. But can you read us through the results from round 4?
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you very much, Tusmbox. So in round 4, there were 2 races. It was the first of our double our sprint double header, but in the manufacturer portion. So this is how the results kind of affected things in the standings for Tier 1. So with SAGT Nutcap grabbing a first and a second, it means he has developed an early lead at the top of the standings to 14 points over teammate Latari, with Mo Flavor lying in third with 27 points. Just 1 point behind, tied for fourth, is VSR teammates of Kennels and Wolfie, and 1 point more than Sam Trusp in sixth position. Then we have a tie for seventh between VSR team members of Vish and Gilla with 17 points, 3 in front of tyre drivers in ninth, which is KD, The Kai and TNR Captain Slow. We then have a three-way tie for 11th between TNR teammates Whipperman and Ray Carter, with Sam Steele tied on 10 points, and in 14th, Lequera at the foot of the table with 6 points. Now on to our lineup for this evening. So it's the same lineup that we had in our last round. We have 7 different manufacturers on grid. 1 Ferrari driven by SAGT Latari, 1 McLaren driven by KD The Kai, 1 Volkswagen driver in MGR Lequera, 2 Citroen drivers of SAGT Nutcap and TNR Ray Carter, 2 Porsche drivers from the Sam team of Trusp, although Trusp is missing from action today, and Sam Steele. 3 Audi drivers from Team TNR, that is Whipperman, Mo Flavor and Captain Slow, and 4 Lamborghini drivers driven by the VSR team of Gilla, Kennels, Vish and Wolfie to round off our grid. So we're going to go for a quick break, but when we do come back, the start of our 10-minute one-shot qualifying ahead of this 12-lap race at the Le Mans No Chicane circuit. So don't go anywhere, we'll be back very shortly. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, Postnet Midstream, Right Recruitment, DC Designs, Slayer Energy, Waggy & Sons, Jetor, Sparko Gaming, Bearded Skull and Buildmat, our official sponsors of SMA Season 2 Manufacturers Showdown 2026. Okay, and we are back, and welcome everyone into this stream today. We are back in the 50-minute race formats at round 5 of the Manufacturers Showdown. We are at the famous Le Mans circuit in the Group 3 cars. So the drivers are literally just putting in their last practice ahead of this 10-minute one-shot qualifying. And I have to say, I mean, I can already see VSR Vish sporting a new livery for VSR, looking very pretty in pink and a little bit of yellow to boot as well. Now, of course, this is Le Mans Tusm. This is a circuit that's very high speed, but normally you have the 2 chicanes in between. However, this is the no chicane variant, so it's one massively long straight. What are your thoughts on this particular circuit? And of course, because the drivers are in the Group 3 cars, how do you think the drivers are going to fare? What kind of challenges do you reckon will be thrown out for the drivers today, Tusm?
Well, as we most likely know, speed is king around here. I'm not familiar with all of the cars' top speed, and I know that we don't usually see Group 3s on a track with such a long straight. I do know that the Audi is usually touted as one of the cars with the highest top speed in this class. So, I think if they can, manage the final 2 sectors where, most of the corners are, I think the Audi drivers, they're going to have a really good chance of some strong results today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's going to bring a few different dynamics, I think, because, of course, with the long straight, yes, you're going to get the extra speed. Yes, you're going to get the slipstream from the car in front, but then at the same time, there'll be all sorts of strategies on play as well. I think there could be a lot of fuel saving, and of course, not to mention that there is some weather changes predicted in this race as well, whilst running essentially what is a 24-hour or a kind of mimicked 24-hour version of the circuit as well, where the drivers will be going into day, into night, and then back into day, with some heavy downpours expected at various points of the race. But yeah, welcome in to a pretty quiet start in the chat, but a big thank you to Parquet, CJ, and MK. I think that is Nutcap's father. Good evening to you all. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic start to your week, and looking forward to an enthralling race that we've got for you guys today for round 5 of the Manufacturers Showdown. Now, as we mentioned in the in terms of the standings and stuff, SAGT Nutcap getting off to a lightning start in this Manufacturers Showdown, the lockdown phase. Now, of course, with the last round, it was 2 chances for the drivers to grab points, and it was Nutcap that got his first victory of the season and a second position as well. And you know, he's already developed a 14-point lead at the top of the championship, should I say. So a lot for the other drivers to do in the remaining rounds. There is 5 chances for the drivers to score points, with the drop round to follow as well, their worst point score of this second half of the season. So yeah, it's just looking like a few drivers out on circuit at the moment. We are awaiting the one-shot qualifier here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Lamborghini is going to fare at this circuit. Now, something that I have just noticed, Tusm, is of course, because there's no chicanes on that long straight, it does mean that coming out of the corner at the end of the straight, it means they're going to have to get on the brakes a bit earlier. If you throw in the darkness when it goes into nighttime, throw in the rain as well, this is going to pose a challenge that I think the drivers perhaps need to be ready for, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The approach speed to that final corner is going to be significantly higher than what we would see with the chicane version of this track. And I mean, the nighttime, I mean, I'm sure they'll be used to that, but with rain coming through there at high speed, it's going to be a massive adjustment. And I'm talking, you know, up to 200 meters braking earlier, depending on just how bad that rain gets.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going to throw it out there, Tusm. So have you got any predictions ahead of this race? I mean, is there an expectation of what manufacturer you feel could be on top for this race?
Yeah, without knowing too much about the other car's top speed, I personally haven't. I don't think I've driven any bopped Group 3 cars on No Chicane Sarthe. So me, I would put my money on Audi, but I know that I believe the Porsche also has some pretty good top end, and I've heard that the McLaren is actually pretty fast in a straight line too. But if I were to go all in, I would go with Audi for this race.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what happens in this one-shot qualifier, which is about to get underway. There was something I did notice with Captain Slow, and I'm not sure if he was just testing the car out before this one-shot quality. But of course, the drivers do have to remain in their respective manufacturer. And I did notice that Captain Slow was using the Porsche then, and I know that he has actually picked the Audi for the season. So Captain Slow, yeah, he is back in the Audi. So I think he was just testing out just to see what the Porsche was like in this race. But yeah, 7 different manufacturers going into this qualifying session. And yeah, we are doing the one-shot qualifying. The drivers will be separated by 10 seconds. When they exit the pit lane. So the first driver to come out is going to be SAGT Nutcap, who is then going to be followed by SAGT Latari. So these are based on the combined results from round 4, determining the order of the one-shot qualifier today. So then third driver to come out will be TNR Mo Flavor. And then we'll be followed by VSR Kennels. And then I do need to look at the remaining list, but I think the drivers will know exactly what the order should be. So they should be 10 seconds apart. So there will be no advantage given to the drivers. The slipstream is turned off as well for this one-shot qualifier. So they will not be gaining the extra speed down the straight. So as long as they are 10 seconds apart, then I mean they are not quite 10 seconds, I don't think. So Mo Flavor may have to back off by the time we get to the end of the outlap. But yeah, certainly yeah, the Citroen, perhaps this circuit, not the strongest car. Now when we're looking at the speeds, and this is a first for probably myself and Tusm, is figuring out the actual top speeds of these cars. So at the moment 283 k's for SAGT Nutcap. You can see with Latari Racing of Ferrari that he's running nearly 286 k's in that Ferrari. That is followed by Mo Flavor, who, well, it looks like he's backing off because realising he was a little bit too close to the car in front, so can't really see from that angle. VSR Kennels, well, in the Lamborghini, we are expecting him to be running, I'd say, mid 280 k's, but he's going to have to slow down now with Wolfie in more or less 10 seconds behind. We've got Fish in 6th to go onto his hot lap with VSR Giller. So just trying to work out their top speeds, but it's looking like the Lamborghini a little bit slow actually, which is I'm quite surprised with. Kay the Kai of McLaren. Now you can see with his speed, 288 k's. Did not expect that from the McLaren there. So it's looking like, what I can see is that the McLaren is perhaps the fastest of them all. So was this something you was expecting, Tusm?
No, not quite like that. Kai is absolutely flying in that McLaren, and yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that he seems to be at lower revs at that speed, so I think he's going to have some of the best fuel economy out of the manufacturers that we have on the grid today.
Yeah, well, in terms of the race strategy, it should be quite simple for the drivers because there are predicted to be 2 spells of rain. It means that they should be able to run the softest of racing compounds and then switch over to the intermediates, or that is at least what we've predicted, but it remains to be seen how long they stay on them intermediates and how long they run the slick tires. So we'll see how they get on here, but we're going to ride on board with SAGT Nutcap because he will be the first driver to set our hot lap. So let's get on board with him now in the cockpit view, and we'll see how he gets on here, but let's just want to check something quickly. So I may struggle with the corner names of Le Mans, so Tusm, you might have to help me out here. I do know that the sort of the exit out of this sort of stadium section is Tetra Rouge, I do believe. As we saw a little bit of sideways action from SAGT Nutcap. This is Tetra Rouge now. And then, of course, we've got this famous long straight. Now, I do believe that the straight here is as long as something like 5 kilometers, I think, Tusm. So I'm not sure what that is in mileage, but that is quite a lengthy straight, and the driver's going to know that when they're at the front of the queue, that the drivers have got the advantage of having that slipstream. So as long as they keep that gap, and they'll be able to gain extra speed, but at the same time they'll be using more fuel. So there could be a lot of changes to the fuel map of a lot of the drivers. So it's certainly going to be interesting, I think, Tusm.
Yeah, fuel mapping while in slipstream is a very efficient way to save some fuel without sacrificing much speed. The straight here, 5.7 kilometers. It's about 3.5 miles, and that's about, or even longer than some full circuits. So that gives you an idea of just the sheer size of not just the straightaway, but this track as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just, as we've got all the drivers on the straight now, just wanted to see what roughly their top speed was. So the Lamborghini's actually a lot slower than I thought, which is sort of barely breaching the 280 Ks. Now we've got Kai that is starting to approach full speed. Captain Slow, not quite the 10 seconds behind, so I hope that he knows that he does. Well, I think he's about 5 seconds behind, so I think he may get away with it. Whipperman in the Audi, well, he should be getting towards the top speed, but you can see Katie the Kai with 288. Whipperman now approaching the mid 280s. But yeah, certainly the Citroen not the fastest, and then it's going to be interesting to see how the Porsche gets on and the Volkswagen in terms of their top speed. But we're riding aboard with Nutcap now because he has already exited the Virage, I do believe, and now approaching Arnage and the Indianapolis, isn't it? I think. In fact, no, we're past that. We're on the Porsche curves now already. So, yeah, I didn't even see that. So yeah, just coming out of the Porsche curves, which is probably the most important part of the circuit. It's really important to get a good exit out of this left-hander, because if you go too wide, then he will pick up a penalty. So just coming to the end of the last sector now. The chicane definitely going to be so important for the drivers. What kind of lap time can SAGT Nutcat produce? We were predicting in the region of 3:42s. I think that's going to be quicker though. And he comes across the line. No, he does come across the line with a 3:42.8 with a temporary pole position. Will he stay on pole? That is the question, as Latari goes a bit squirrely on the exit, but he goes on to pole position by 0.4 of a second. 3:42.433 as Mo Flavor comes across the line now, and he will set a 3:42.650 to go into second position. It'll be VSR Kennels next to come across the line. He will set a 3:43.5 to land himself in P4. Then it's VSR Wolfie next to come across the line as he goes a little bit squirrely on the exit. He's going to set a 3:43.7 to be in P5. VSR Vish coming across the line now. It's going to be slower, 3:44.2 for him. VSR Giller now coming across the line. I think that may even be slower, 3:44.6 to be in P7. Here comes KD the Kai in the McLaren as he goes kind of wide out the exit, but he goes on to pole position with a 3:42.3, and TNR Captain Slow up into P2 with a 3:42.3 for him. So very close at the top of the timing boards, with TNR Whipperman about to come across the line now with a 3:43.8. Vish into P9 as well. Did actually miss him as he came across the line. Here comes TNR Ray Carter in the Citroen. What kind of time can he produce? It's going to be a 42.998 to land himself into 6th position. now we've only got 2 more drivers to come across the line in a Sam Steele of Porsche, and he's looking rather tidy as he comes out of the final corner, and it's going to be a quick time from him, 3 minute 43.5 for him to land himself into P8, and Leclerc in the Volkswagen Beetle again looking rather tidy through there. It's going to be a 3 minute 44.113 to land himself into P11. So a very fascinating qualifying we've just seen here. Tusmbox, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, while you were looking at the leaders, I was scrolling to the last people to leave out of the pit box, and I was watching Leclerc. His Volkswagen, I think, actually had the slowest top speed. He was doing about 173 miles an hour. That's about 278 kilometers an hour down that main street. Wow.
Okay. So it shows that the Beetle is a little bit of a dark horse then. It's, it's quite a nimble car, isn't it? The Volkswagen. Perhaps not the best on its tyres, but certainly, as Leclerc said in his interviews, he's the type of guy to absolutely just send it. And it seems like that car really suits him, I think, Tusum.
Yeah, he's gonna really have to maximize his time throughout the corners, or just make sure that he has a drafting partner in this race, because I really think that top end is going to be quite the hindrance around here. But I mean, he's a fast dude. He's a smart driver, so I have no doubts that he'll be able to keep himself within the main pack and set himself up for a good finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you can see, viewers, that we've got quite the mix of drivers. Katie the Kai, I do believe that is his 3rd pole position in qualifying of the season, with TNR Captain Slow in an excellent 2nd position for him, ahead of Latari Racing of SHET. Something you don't see every day there. Mo Flavor in P4, Nutcap into P5. However, we saw in the last round at Grand Valley, the Gr.3 race, that the Citroen is lightning fast off the line in the Gr.3 cars. Now, of course, we have got quite the run into the braking zone. Something that the drivers ahead of him will have to be wary, especially Mo Flavor as well, because and actually TNR Captain Slow, because the Audi not the best off the line, Tusum.
Yeah, I think another thing that is going to go through the drivers' heads is, do they want to lead down the Mulsanne Straight? Punching a hole through the air for everybody else. Everybody else behind them is going to be able to save a good amount of fuel. So maybe Nutcap doesn't want the best start. Maybe he wants to slide himself into P2. We'll see. Anything can happen. I can't wait to see what the drivers think of for their strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when we looked at the standings, Katie the Kai, a bit of a shock to see him all the way down in 9th position. So Katie the Kai will know if he has got any chance of challenging at the top. He needs to do it now. And he's gone about it the right way into that phenomenal lap that he's put in. Really, really surprised with that time. 3 minute 42.3. 7 hundredths of a second quicker than TNR Captain Slow. So it's going to be interesting, because Captain Slow also was... he's definitely a tier 1 driver, but perhaps not hit the heady heights of the season so far, where he's gone about it the right way to qualify into 2nd position. But welcome in everyone in chat. Ghost Riders, Alfred, Panic Potato, Mammy, and Dion in the chat right now, in the house right now. So welcome, and good evening to you. Is that Robin in the background, I hear?
Hey, good evening, Sean, Tusum, and to the viewers. Sorry I'm late. We had an amazing Tier 2 race, which got a bit delayed, but amazing nonetheless. But yeah, good evening to everybody.
Yeah, I was wondering if you was coming in or not, but you have made it just in time. We are... There we go. The qualifying just about ended just now. So we'll give a quick confirmation of the results from this round 5 of the Le Mans No Chicane circuit, the qualifying round. So it was Katie Lakai with the fastest lap time of a 3-minute 42.3, just in front of TNR Captain Slow. They'll be starting on the front row with row 2. Third position for SAGT Latari Racing, with TNR Mo Flavor starting alongside him in 4th position. Then on row 3 is going to be SAGT Nutcap ahead of Ray Carter of TNR on row 3, P5 and P6 respectively. Then on row 4 is VSR Kennels and Sam Steele from P7 and P8. On row 5 we've got VSR Wolfie and TNR Whipperman starting from P9 and P10. Row 6 will be MGR Lequera and VSR Vish starting from P11 and P12, and VSR Giller on his own at the back of the grid on row 7. Of course, Sam Trusp not available for this race, so he'll have it all to do from the back of the grid. But yeah, Robin, did you see the qualifying that we've just seen just now?
No, I've actually just jumped in, Sean. So I'm gonna be watching this race from our YouTube channel, because we've got some technical issues on my side. But I'm
well,
very
Robin,
impressed with the times there.
we are literally just about to get this race underway, so just going to have to quickly cut in. But as we await the 5 red lights, we got Katie Lakai and TNR Captain Slow that are going to get us underway, but do expect a lightning start from SAGT Nutcap. So lights out and away we go as we start round 5 of the Manufacturers Showdown at the Le Mans No Chicane circuit, and here comes SAGT Nutcap with another lightning start from him, and moves up into the race lead. But by the time we got into the braking zone, Ray Carter already propelling himself up into 3rd position, of course driving that Citroen ahead of TNR Captain Slow, who has sunk down 2 positions. Katie Lakai is coming under. Oh no, there's contact between the 2 drivers of Ray Carter and Katie Lakai, and Katie Lakai has sunk all the way down to P13 from the initial pole position grid start that he had. Let's quickly have a look on the replay. I do feel like that it could be the fault of Ray Carter, who went a little bit hot into the turn. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, on board with Ray Carter. Katie Lakai was on the outside, and there was although he left the door open, there was a bit of contact between the 2 drivers. Very, very controversial there, Tusum.
Yeah, I do want to mention Lequera. He started in P11. He has made his way up into P5 already, and he's pretty close to the slipstream up to the cars ahead, so he's doing really well in that Volkswagen so far.
Yeah, and cars swarming in right now. We had 3 side by side in front of TNR Whipperman. It looks like Lequera has lost 4 positions on the straight, so you can see the differences in speed. Of course, the slipstream really helping the cars as VSR Kennels moves up into P7 with the overspeed. And as we go into the heavy braking zone, they've got to be careful on the brakes here. Oh, there's a spinner, and I think it's Ray Carter that has been the victim of some contact as VSR Kennel sinks down to P9, and Katie Lakai has risen up 4 positions from that initial contact he had at the start of the race as they go side by side. But we will save the replay of Ray Carter as he tries to fight his way back. But there is a cluster of cars that are trying to rise up the grid, but it's very, very tight between all the drivers as Sam Steele goes up the inside of VSR Giller to move up into P11. Let's quickly have a look on Ray Carter and see what happened there. It looked like there was some major contact from behind. So as we went into the braking zone, Lequera, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. I think maybe he just collected the dirt on the outside and spun the rear tyres. We can quickly have a look again, but it certainly it seemed like it was a mistake from Ray Carter rather than any wrongdoing of the drivers around him. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. And there was quite a number of cars that were collected in the process as well. So, yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, Robin. But you may have just seen the replay since you're looking at the YouTube broadcast. So, what are your thoughts on what happened now?
Well, firstly, which is quite interesting, is that I'm seeing a lot of guys on different compounds here. Now, I do believe that there's a strat that I actually didn't even think of, and I saw it in the Tier 2 race where the guys that are on mediums, I'm suspecting he's actually going to try and go through the first patch of rain and not go onto the inters. And I clearly can see that there's a few guys that have maybe opted to go on a totally different strat in terms of starting on the mediums and not changing to inters. So that's going to be quite interesting as this race progresses. As we know, the rain may come within, or possibly will come at the start of lap 4, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially with the Beetle, I think, because it doesn't have the top and it would want to possibly do that type of strat, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, the wind is going to be a big factor in this race. Actually, there's a big wind against the drivers as we go down the Mulsanne Straight. So there's Latari Racing with the overspeed. So Latari Racing getting up to nearly 290 Ks. He's got the slipstream of Nutcap as well. Captain Slow, I think, will just sink behind Latari Racing, pull out that slipstream and try to get up the inside of him and maybe try to tuck into Nutcap's slipstream. But of course, Latari is firmly in that slipstream, so Captain Slow is not able to get the move done as of yet, but we may go 3 wide here as Nightcap was swarmed by Latari Racing and TNR Captain Slow to move down into P3, but he's certainly going to be firmly in that slipstream as we go 2 wide with Latari Racing and Captain Slow on the outside as we... Oh, Captain Slow's gone wide! Captain Slow has gone wide into the kitty litter, and that's a big mistake from the TNR driver, nearly collected Laquera on the outside there. Katie Lakai has moved up into P6. He will take that 5th position away from him as well. So big development in the early part of this race. Big mistake from Captain Slow. We'll quickly have a look on the... Well, actually, we're going to stay on board with TNR Whipperman because Captain Slow is trying to fight back and trying to take that 5th position away from Katie Lakai. So as we approach Indianapolis now, Captain Slow will go as late as you dare on the brakes, but Katie Lakai actually better on the brakes and holds on to that 5th position. So let's quickly have a look at Captain Slow then and see exactly what happened there. So the overspeed really catching out the TNR driver as he hit 290 Ks, but then as he applied the brakes, unfortunately, yeah, he wasn't able to stop the car in time and lost many a position. So nearly collecting Laquera there as he goes side by side with Katie Lakai once more, but Katie Lakai is going to hold on to that 5th position. But a bit of a manic start that we've had so far, Tusm. Is there anything else that I may have missed in that time period?
I'm keeping a really close eye on Laquera. He's up in the P4, doing everything he can in that little Beetle. He might have the disadvantages in the straights, but he is doing very well in that car so far. He's just outside of the slipstream range of the cars ahead, about 2.5 seconds back. So that'll put him into the clutches of those like Kai and Captain Slow. But yeah, I think we're getting to that stage where the drivers are just going to settle down, wait for the rain to come, and just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Yeah, I mean, there's barely a gap between the drivers. 4.2 seconds separating Katie Lakai and Latari Racing, who has the race lead at the moment. 3.5 tenths over SAGT Nutcap. Now, it's definitely going to be a cat and mouse game, certainly between the top 3 drivers at the moment. Of course, no bump drafting is allowed in our SMA races, so it's certainly just going to be about, you know, when to push, when to turn down the fuel mapping to try and save that fuel. Now, when we're looking at the fuel gauge at the moment, we are on lap 3 now, so they haven't got enough fuel to last the full race as of yet. But then it really depends on how much they're fuel saving when the rain comes. Now, we are expecting the rain to arrive at the end of lap 3, so the rain may not last too long. But it's going to be interesting to see how much it rains and how long they do need to stay on the intermediate tyres, or whether or not any drivers will take the gamble of going on the slick tyres a little bit earlier. As all looks like Mo Flava is getting pulled along, and look at the speed of the Audi as he pulls out that slipstream. Nearly 300 Ks he hit there as he pulls out of the slipstream from Latari, and it looks like Nutcap is going to follow suit now. 291 for him as he gets past Latari Racing, who's hitting the mid 280s, although he's getting pulled along by Mo Flava. He's got the inside line over SAGT Nutcap. There's a slight bit of contact between the 2 drivers, but it's going to be side-by-side action between SAGT Nutcap and SAGT Latari. Nutcap looks like, well, he had the advantage, but Mo Flava pulled to the right-hand side to give Latari Racing the slipstream, so Latari should be holding on to it as Mo Flava then swaps over to the left-hand side, giving Nutcap the advantage. So it's definitely a game of strategy for the leader, not trying to give too much slip to particular drivers, and Mo Flava still holds on to the race lead. Let's quickly have a look at the drivers behind, because Captain Slow is just in front of Katie Lakai in P4. Laquera down into P6 now, but well in the hunt for that 4th position. And then we've got another pack behind with VSR Wolfie and TNR Whipperman fighting it out for that 7th position. VSR Giller in P9, Sam Steele, Ray Carter challenging Sam Steele on the outside, moves up into 10th position with Sam Steele sinking down into P11 with VSR Kennels in P12, and Fish just behind them in 13th position. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely approaching the wet weather stage now. Can we expect more drama as the race unfolds, Robin?
Well, you know, I'm very interested to see who's going to actually put and who's not on the mediums. I do believe there's the alternative strat where they could try and avoid the first stint of rain, obviously being a bit slower, but cutting out that one pit stop, which I saw in Tier 2. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes into the pit lane right now.
Yeah, and Katie Lakai is the first of the drivers that didn't go into the pit lane, so he's deciding to take that risk now. Do you think, Robin, that in terms of the rain now, we don't know how long the rain is going to last, but is it a foregone conclusion to definitely go onto the intermediate tyres when the rain does come in, or do you think that they can maybe get away with it being that there's a long straight, and maybe that the conditions won't be bad enough for them to lose too much traction on the slick tyres?
Well, I'm just looking at the wind as well, which obviously determines a lot about the weather. And most certainly, I think the brave souls that have stayed out, which is Kai, Volpi, Gila, and Fazwatifus, it is most certainly a strat that can possibly be competitive if they are able to keep the car on track firstly, and just avoid the first lap, which I think is possibly the worst of it. And with 14 cars on the track, one would think that on the second lap they'd be able to get a bit more pace out of those mediums. But it's most certainly a very competitive strat in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something I did notice with VSR Giller is that he chose the hard tyres. So expecting to maybe try to survive on these laps now as the rain meter is now into that intermediate zone. So Giller is just thinking about just, maybe taking it a little bit easier, not go too berserk in terms of the corners, knowing that he's got the straights where he should still have that traction. Tusm, what are your thoughts on this very unusual strategy?
Well, I just took a look at the weather radar, and right now the drivers are going through a patch of dark blue rain with a little bit of green upcoming. So the drivers that stayed out on the slicks, they're really going to struggle, especially once they get to the final section with the Porsche curves. I think the drivers that pit on end of lap 3, I think they made the right call for this one.
Okay, all right. Well, something I didn't really expect here, but of course, something that they're definitely going to have to be careful when going into the braking zone. Oh, as Mo Flavor sweeps in front of Latari Racing to hold on to that 5th position. Latari down into 7th, actually, because there's Nutcap on the inside. So Nutcap is going to inherit 6th position ahead of Latari Racing. Captain Slow in P8, Lequera P9. Let's quickly have a look at the drivers in front, because, of course, they're on the slick tyres. So how slow will they have to take these corners? It's pretty slow, but able to survive and actually keep the car pointing forward. Same with VSR Wolfie, same with Giller as well. But it's how much they can hold on to the lead of the drivers that are on the intermediate tyres, because Mo Flavor is the first of the intermediate runners. Now the gap is about 6.5 seconds, and it is coming down as well from VSR Fish. Now looking at the track surface rain meter.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go on.
VSR Wolfie and P2 just went off. He's really struggling for grip on those slicks. Kai's doing really well. I think what they're going to try to do, like discussed earlier, is just stay out on those slicks and hope that the track dries enough to where they won't have to change the intermediates. That might put them at a bit of an advantage, but it's really, really sketchy out there right now.
Yeah, we just saw Katie the Kai go wide out of the Porsche curves, so they are really, really struggling. Here comes Mo Flavor now, and Nutcat just getting ahead of VSR Fish in P6, and Latari Racing now sighting up. And oh, there's Captain Slow with the overspeed to get past Latari Racing as they go hard on the brakes. VSR Wolfie has to go very, very slow on the exit of the chicane. So Latari Racing and Lequera now getting the march on VSR Giller and Wolfie. So I'm gonna I'm going to cut back to the replay of VSR Wolfie. So he was in P2 at the time, but when you looked at the difference in traction, you could see that as they came up to the Porsche curves, that is where he had to get on the brakes a lot sooner and hit the kitty litter, literally driving on ice really on them slick tyres. So it may well have been that the strategy of the drivers staying out on the slick tyres has backfired, because here comes Mo Flavor, just gone past him with SAGT Nutcap and TNR Captain Slow Lequera Latari Racing, getting past KD the Kai there. So they are all they are stretching the lead over Cade the Kai. Now Cade the Kai, obviously on the medium tyres, knows that once the track does dry out, and you can see with the water surface meter that we are starting to approach the slick range. So Cade the Kai, maybe with maybe another half a lap or something, will know that his tyres should be grippy enough that maybe he'll be making inroads of the drivers with the intermediate tyres. But they are literally a line astern or in rows of two really, as they jostle for position. And you can see they are literally fighting tooth and nail for that slipstream, for the race lead. Mo Flava and TNR Captain Slow side by side with Latari Racing trying to go through the middle of them. SAGT Nutcat trying to find a gap where possible. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get past TNR Captain Slow, so he's going to have to tuck back in. And as we get into the braking zone, and I thought there could have been calamity there, but Latari Racing with the old switcheroo to move past Mo Flava, and he was the one that lost out dearly in that battle for the race lead. So we got SAGT Nutcat now leading the race ahead of Laquera in the second position. TNR Captain Slow in P3 with Latari Racing in P4. Mo Flava in P5. Let's quickly have a look on the replay of Mo Flava as he got swarmed by the drivers behind him. So he was in the race lead, but as we saw it there, little bit of contact from the driver behind. Captain Slow Nutcap, Laquera getting the overspeed from Mo Flava, and then Latari Racing with the old switcheroo to move up into P4. So yeah, very, very tight, but now you can see Katie the Kai maybe starting to close in to the drivers now. You can see with the surface water bar on the left hand side, you can now see that there is a dry patch formed on the circuit, and this is where he should be homing in, even if the medium tyres are a little bit worn at this stage, Robin.
Also keeping in mind, Sean, is that these drivers that have stayed up, they're not going to put as per the drivers that are on the mediums, on the intermediates.
Yeah.
They have to go in when the track's dry. So there's definitely going to be a 20 to 25%, 25-second kind of like gain on the guys that are not having to put. However, the tires will be obviously a bit worn. I think Kila and Kai's got a really good opportunity. It's the long game, it's a difficult strat, but it most certainly, like I said, the ultimate goal here is to just stick with this pack right now, and follow, and obviously when they go into the pit lane, they won't be, and I think that's where is the advantage of this stat.
Yeah, well, KD the Kai did decide to come in from, I think he was 6th position at the time, but you can see with the top 3, they have decided to go further. So we got VSR Gilla currently leading the race ahead of VSR Vish in the 2nd position, both on the hard tyres, with VSR Wolfie on the medium tyres. I was quite surprised to see KD the Kai actually come in, but then maybe deciding to go on the soft tyres, or maybe another stint on the medium tyres, I don't know. Or maybe he's feeling confident that, okay, that wasn't too bad, maybe I can run the slick tyres. No, he's gone on to the medium tyres. So but he could still be confident that maybe when the next band of rain comes in, that maybe he will survive on them slick tyres, with the drivers that were initially on the intermediate tyres now coming out on the medium tyres, with Captain Slow in P4, Mo Flava in P5, Nutcap in P6, with Latari Racing in P7 and Laquera in P8, and Katie Lakai, as I said, in P9. So all deciding to go onto the medium tyres. Sam still on the medium tyres.
Oh, P7 Latari, he just spun coming out of Tetra Rouge.
Okay.
He's dropped down to P10 now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think he just got a couple tires in that wet stuff and just immediately lost all grip.
Okay, let's have a look on the replay. Thank you, Tusum, and well spotted. So yes, very, very dangerous, because obviously we're at night, so it's hard to see the dry line, and it's very important not to get on the wet line, as he went wide on the curve, and that's where he lost all types of traction and spun about 10 times there, I think. So I certainly went a little bit dizzy as I watched the onboard of Latari Racing. So down into P12 with the rear aero damage as well. So it just shows you, Tusum, how quickly things change in an instant.
Yeah, I hope he wasn't driving in VR, because that's definitely what they would call a vomit comet with that many spins in that short period of time.
Yeah, Robin, I mean, it's so easily done, isn't it? I mean, of course, like you feel quite confident. You see that the surface water meter is right down into the dry zone, but then you know, not sort of you know, like throwing caution to the wind, isn't it? Throwing caution to the wind, where you think that maybe you can use the whole circuit, but of course the outside line, the curbs are still very, very wet, aren't they?
Yeah, I think he also hit some of that blue stuff on his side. I think he's gone over the curb and gone into the blue stuff, which is even worse. And as we saw, that spun him out completely. But what a strat from Gila on the hards. It's really something that I didn't think of in the week while testing and with the team and stuff. But very interesting, and let's see if we can pull off another podium position here tonight, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. And so do you think that the drivers that did run the intermediate tyres, do you think that they've learned from what the top three have done and maybe looking to imitate what they've done and stay on the slick tyres now?
Well, I think because the second stint of rain is not as bad as the first stint, I most certainly think that a driver like Kai, who's gone onto the mediums, I'm not sure based on his fuel, if he's refueled for the entire 6 laps, but if he has, it's most certainly something that I think Kai will be doing, is not putting and racing with these mediums till the end. But you know, just in terms of the thinking out of the strat and obviously the testing, it's most certainly something that I wouldn't want to try and do with slicks on a wet track. It's certainly very brave, but as you can see, it looks like it's played to their advantage. So well done to those guys who managed to get through the first stint of rain time.
Yeah, and Tusum, are you like surprised that if KD the Kite is going to run this strategy of staying on the slick tyres when it does rain? Are you surprised that he didn't, you know, try the hard tyres instead of the mediums?
Well, maybe he figured that he'd have to make a pit stop for fuel, so he figured why not go with a softer compound and then have a little bit better grip throughout the lap. One thing I do want to say is that I'm looking at the VSR top 3, and all of those guys, they have been doing really well with conserving their fuel. They might be able to run this entire race without stopping.
That's an interesting dynamic, actually. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because they could be saving a lot of fuel. Now, something that we can't see is, of course, them chopping and changing the fuel map. So every time that they're in the slip, they could be turning down the fuel map down even as low as fuel map 6, which you know, will then you know, save them a hell of a lot of fuel, but still getting the slipstream from each other as well. So yeah, this could be a very, very clever ploy from the two VSR drivers of Gila and Vish as they swap positions once again. So P1 for Gila, never won a race in SMA. I'm not going to say anything further from that.
Don't jinx it, please. Don't jinx it.
But so far doing brilliantly in first position with Vish as well. I don't even know if Vish has won a race in SMA, actually. Come to think of it, Robin. So this could be an absolute genius move from the two VSR drivers. We've got Wolfie currently in P3, 2.6 seconds adrift, but with a massive 16.5 second lead over TNR Captain Slow in P4, with Mo Flavor 6.7 seconds behind, but he has got SAGT Nutcap for company in P6. So yeah, so it's just starting to sort of settle down this race at the moment, whilst we're on the dry portion of the race. So Lequera in P7, half a second ahead of Katie Lakai in P8, Sam Steele in P9. So with Latari Racing then, currently P13, actually he has made his pit stop already. So he's decided to go on to the racing mediums. He had that rear aero damage that would have been hurting him so much down the straights. So is it looking likely now that Latari Racing is going to stay on these medium tyres for the rest of the race now, Robin?
I would think to try and recover would be obviously to try and gain that 20 seconds not going into the pit lane. But as I'm seeing, obviously I'm on the YouTube channel, but just if we scroll down on the fuel, we should be able to tell who has fuel for not doing another pit stop and who is forced to go into the pit lane again. And by the fuel, we could determine who is going to run till end and who still needs to pit here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I can see with, for example, SCGT Nutcap looks like he's got the most fuel out of everyone, I think. So, yeah, Lequera, similar as well, actually, with Kaid the Kai, pretty similar as well. They've all got just over half a tank of fuel, so it's looking like they don't need to fill up any more and quite possibly could run these tyres for the rest of the race. Sam Steele's tyres not looking the best though in the Porsche, but we do know how good the Porsche is on saving tyres. Yeah, it looks like all the drivers behind have got over half a tank of fuel here, so it is only the top 3, and look how much VSR Wolfie has closed into the top 2 now. So VSR Wolfie joining in the game of cat and mouse with his other teammates of VSR, but you can see with the fuel, so VSR Wolfie's got a quarter tank. And we're only on lap 8, so it's looking like he's going to need fuel. And then when you look at VSR Vish and you look at VSR Giller, they've got just over a quarter tank. So yeah. I think they are swapping the fuel map, but it's going to be touch and go whether or not they even have enough fuel to last them the rest of the race. Tusum, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, for Wolfie, my main concern for him would be the tires. The fuel, I think he'll be able to save it as long as he sticks with the 2 lead cars. But his tires are not in the greatest condition. He's still got another 4 laps to do here. That is going to be his major struggle for the rest of this race. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, certainly going to...
sorry, we got contact. There was some contact between MoFlavor and Nutcap, P5 and P6. Looks like, I couldn't quite tell, but I think Nutcap may have missed his braking point. Did hit MoFlavor, but did allow him to regain the position, and it looks like they were both lucky to not get damaged from that impact.
Well, we're just riding on board with Nutcap now, so as we came out of the Mulsanne Straight, yeah, there was a little bit of contact. He did push MoFlavor off the circuit. Luckily, MoFlavor was able to rejoin and not lose too much time. And I think it was, as you mentioned, was a mistake from SAGT Nutcap because he did allow MoFlavor to reclaim that 5th position. So, you know, it a little bit unfortunate. It does mean now that Kaid the Kai has now closed the gap to 5th and 6th position, and with Lequera following suit in P8 as well, just 3.5 tenths down on Kaid the Kai. Things could get very spicy in the final 3.5 laps that we've got at Le Mans, Robin.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the VSR strat here. Look, I think it's a brilliant strat in terms of you know, substituting loss of positions during the first stint of rain, knowing that all they needed to do was keep it on track, and you know, I think just going into testing these type of strats, and it just shows that you know, even the race director, I think, is surprised this evening by the strat. Sean, what do you think?
Oh, I'm very, very surprised. I thought it might be possible. I just didn't think anyone was going to dare to do this kind of strategy. But definitely from Tusum's point of view, though, with the tyre situation, Lamborghini not the best in preserving them tyres. And actually, when I'm looking at VSR Giller and VSR Vish's tyres, actually, particularly VSR Wolfie, you can see that the tyres, there's not too much left on them rear tyres, and even the front left tyre as well is degrading pretty significantly as well. So yeah, it's going to be touch and go whether or not they've got enough tyre to last them the whole race. And obviously with the fuel situation as well, they're having to save so much fuel in the last part of this race, or the last quarter of this race, where we haven't even finished lap 9 yet, so they still will have 3 more laps to go. I don't know if them tyres are going to last. What are your thoughts, Tusm?
I mean, we've seen these drivers do amazing things. So if he does make it on those tires, I will gladly eat my words. I just the tire preservation that the faster drivers have is just unbelievable to see. And I wish I had just like a fraction of that talent.
Absolutely. Well, we're just starting to see the rain come down as Mo Flava sizes up an opportunity on KD the Kai. They're going to go side by side. SAGT Nutcap is going to take the slipstream from KD the Kai, so he will look to power past KD the Kai as Mo Flava tries to position his car in a place which kind of blocks off both of the drivers there. But yeah, we can see that the rain is starting to fall, so we are going to be approaching that intermediate weather very shortly, and this could be the saving grace for VSR Giller, Fish and Wolfie as Mo Flava and co do try to hound them down in that 5th position. TNR Captain Slow, the gap between VSR Wolfie and Captain Slow is 9.3 seconds, so the gap is starting to come down. He has got a quarter of a tank. When you look at the top 3 drivers, they've got an 1/8 of a tank now. So but we saw that the rain was coming down, but there are still parts of the circuit actually that is completely bone dry, so they are going to be absolutely praying that the heavens do open in the next lap or so. Otherwise they are literally I don't think they're going to have any traction left on them tires, and of course they're having to save fuel massively as well, you know, probably short shifting fuel map 6 as well. So of course we are now out of the night sky as well, so the track temperature is going to be rising at this point as well as we go into the day. So yeah, Robin, I mean, have you got any predictions on this? Do you think the top 3 are going to survive, or do you think that Captain Slow, Nutcap and co could still be in this race?
Well, firstly, do you think that Captain Slow has enough fuel to get to the end of the race, though? I think that he doesn't. So that's going to be quite interesting, because if you look at the gap, then well, we can't really tell now, but if, say for instance, Mo Flava was 8 seconds behind, that would leave a 20-second gap almost, I think.
Yeah, well, Mo Flava, sorry, Robin, Mo Flava has just dived into the pits with Lequera. So Mo Flava had 24%, Lequera has 40%, but not being confident on the slick tyres by the looks of it, as Ray Carter dives in as well. So deciding to go onto the intermediates. Maybe they'll run the intermediates for the rest of the race as well. So that's something to consider as on top of that as well. So this has certainly become a very, very interesting race, because all types of strategies going on as yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to predict, I think, Tusm.
Yeah, I just want to mention really quick, I just took a look at the radar, and rain is going to be expected within, I would say, the next 5 minutes.
Right, okay, well, VSR Wolfie's fuel with the flashing red light now means that he will need to pit imminently. Actually, the top 3 in a similar predicament. So VSR Giller is going to power on through from VSR Vish. But yeah, Captain Slow, of course, will need to pit. You are definitely right there, Robin. So the top 4 do need to pit, and what we can see, although SAGT Nutcap has just picked up a half a second penalty, but the gap between 5th and 6th to the race leader is now 14 seconds. So you know, if they weren't able to get the required amount of fuel to last them the whole race, it means that although it seemed like a clever ploy from the top 3 drivers, I think, has now backfired, because the if these drivers are to stay out through the rain, it does mean that they will get the jump on the top 3 drivers, I think, Robin.
Yeah, no, I'm not too sure about how much the fuel is going to take them, but I would be very surprised if they haven't planned to run through the last final rain stint to the end of the race. So not too sure on if they are going to be leading the car. I mean, what is the gap now between top 3 and P4?
Well, at the moment, I was just watching a side-by-side action between KD the Kai and SAGT Nutcap. They've both picked up a half-a-second penalty, as it looks like Nutcap trying to steal a march on KD the Kai as we went through Indianapolis, but KD the Kai just able to hold off SAGT Nutcap. They are both going to have to serve that half-a-second penalty as the rain is starting to fall, but TNR Captain Slow is now just 2.5 seconds adrift of VSR Wolfie, who currently holds 3rd position, and they are a line astern, the VSR drivers of Wolfie, Vish and Giller. So Giller leading ahead of Vish in P2 and Wolfie in P3, but you can see there's nothing left on them tyres. They've got no fuel left either, so they are going to have to pit, and you know, it'll be Giller, he loses traction and he spins round into the wall, and lucky not to pick up damage, but the other 3 drivers sailing on through. TNR Captain Slow up into P3, VSR Wolfie P2, and Vish still now holding the race lead, but he'll be diving into the pit lane with VSR Wolfie. TNR Captain Slow also coming in. VSR Giller really struggling for traction and loses a position to KD the Kai, who moves up into P4.
Oh no, Kai just spun!
Kai spun! Oh no, it's all going wrong for all the drivers now who thought they were confident in surviving on a wet circuit, but it has gone wrong, and remnants of it as he went wide, picked up dirty tyres as he tried to get around VSR Giller. KD the Kai, he barely turned, to be fair, but unfortunately, just too much, too slippery for the slick tyres. So, unfortunate for KD the Kai and Giller, and they both come into the pit lane now, which now means, it looks like a tale of many drivers deciding to get onto the intermediate tyres. So Ray Carter already on the intermediate tyres with VSR Kennels in 12th position, and he loses the rear end and maybe ruining the fact that he maybe should have got onto the intermediate tyres, as he loses traction, loses time to the drivers that he tried to pip. Currently in P12 for Latari Racing with front and rear aero damage in P13. 1 minute 36 behind the leaders. That is VSR Vish in 1st position with Captain Slow in P2, and VSR Wolfie now in 3rd position. All 3 on the intermediate tyres, with Mo Flavor picking up a half-a-second penalty, and MGR Laquera with a 1 second penalty, currently P4 and P5 respectively. Ray Carter in P6 now, ahead of SAGT Nutgap, who has been released on circuit in 7th, and VSR Giller, who has now rejoined in 8th position, and what could have been for the VSR driver, with KD the Kai rejoining in 9th position. So disaster for VSR Giller and KD the Kai. Sam Steele now looking to try and catch up to KD the Kai in 10th position, currently 11 seconds ahead of Whipperman and VSR Kennels, as both of them side by side. VSR Kennels is going to tuck back into that slipstream to maybe power past him by the time we get into the braking zone for the Mulsanne corner, but Yeah, they're going to be side by side. Lataru Racing out of the running here. He's on the racing soft tyres. He'll be hoping that the track does dry out so that he will have the ultimate speed if he can stay within the dry lines. But Captain Slow has now got the race lead ahead of VSR Vish. 0.6 of a second is the lead. Yeah, trying to stay in the wet portion of the circuit, but because of course the tyres will be overheating with the ever quickly drying circuit. So yeah, VSR Fish trying to stay within that slipstream of TNR Captain Slow as we have now gone past the halfway mark of lap 11. VSR Wolfie still in the heady heights of third position, 2 seconds adrift of Vish and 4.8 seconds ahead of Mo Flavor, who is going to serve that half a second penalty, with Lecuera just behind him, who has that 1 second penalty as well. So they're going to sink down. That will give the opportunity for Ray Carter to close in a little bit. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this last part of the race as Ray Carter went a little bit scribbly on the exit? But, I mean, do you think that the last lap could bring all sorts of drama in this round 5 race in the Manufacturer Showdown, Robin?
Well, you know, we know that every single round thus far has always been the last lap being hard battling, and I'm stoked to see Captain Slow there up in front there. I think he's raced well throughout this championship and deserves a podium, but I most certainly think that Fist is not just going to let him take the win here. So and Wolfie as well. So if they can keep in the slip in the long straights, most certainly there will be some battling on the final lap, as SMA always has.
Well, TNR Captain Slow just starting the last lap of the race then. He has developed a 1.1 second lead over VSR Vish then, both with very similar strategies, as I said, intermediate tyres. Vish actually using a little bit more fuel though. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's got enough fuel to last him the rest of the race. I think it's going to be certainly very tight as the gap is starting to widen between Captain Slow and Vish, because I think Vish is saving fuel at this stage. So yeah, the gap is 1.2 seconds, and Vish will be praying to stay in that slipstream if he's got any chance of dethroning Captain Slow from the race lead. 2.9 seconds is the lead from Vish to VSR Wolfie, so you would say that Wolfie might not be in the running. It's certainly going to be tight though. Mo Flavor P4 5 seconds adrift, but the flashing red lights for him as well, with pretty worn intermediate tyres. Now that is something that I didn't keep an eye on, is the condition of the tyres. It does look like Captain Slow doing a good job on the tyre preservation with VSR Vish as well, but remember the tyre wear is set to ×6, so they will run down and they will have to keep the tyres cool if the tyres are going to last this last lap of the race here. Yeah, he's looking, well, Vish, yeah, still 1.1 seconds. He's not quite in that slipstream. So, it might be costly for him. I mean, maybe he should have pushed, you know, and then once he got into the slipstream, then maybe he could have saved a bit of fuel and turned down the fuel mapping. The gap is now 1.5 seconds. Oh, it's Captain Slow. Runs a little bit deep though, and that gap is going to come dwindling down because it's looking like Fish now firmly in that slipstream as Captain Slow has picked up a half a second penalty. Fish has not got a he has not got a penalty to serve. So in a prime position right now, and because Captain Slow ran deep, picked up that half a second penalty, so may have handed the race lead to VSR Vish, because now Captain Slow, just coming through Indianapolis now, is now going to have to serve that half a second penalty with VSR Wolfie 3.7 seconds drift. It does now mean that well, he hasn't got any other driver to slow down VSR Vish, and obviously VSR Wolfie being teammate as well, as Captain Slow does sink down into P2. He's going to be firmly in that slipstream, but the gap is just under half a second. So Vish now knows that he just needs to keep it cool, calm and collected, and surely he'll get his first ever win for SMA. I'm pretty certain this will be the case, and just needs to now survive the Porsche curves and not go wide out of this exit here, which he does survive, but it's certainly going to be very, very close between the two drivers as we come up to the final two chicanes now. TNR Captain Slow tried to apply the mind games there as he took a different line to VSR Fish, but it looks like VSR Fish is going to hold off TNR Captain Slow to win round 5 at Le Mans No Chicane of the Manufacturers Showdown, ahead of TNR Captain Slow at the line, who claims a brilliant second position, and VSR Wolfie is going to claim the last step on the podium to finish in P3. Mo Flavor finishes in an excellent P4 ahead of Laquera in 5th position. VSR Giller is going to hold off SAGT Nutcap, and in fact Kate the Kai is going to take P7 because Nutcap had a 1 second penalty to finish in P8, and Sam Steele will come across the line in P9. TNR Weaponman is going to come across the line to finish in a top 10 position for him, with Ray Carter running out of fuel, currently P11, but VSR Kennels is going to take that position away from him. So VSR Kennels up into P11. It looks like Ray Carter is going to trundle across the line to finish in P12, with Latari Racing finishing at the back of the grid in P13. But Robin, what are your thoughts of today's race?
You know, a couple of months ago, I sat with the race director and I said, are we sure we want to go with no chicane? I mean, this is an iconic track, but surely we want the chicanes in. And he was very confident. He said, Robin, we should try it. This is going to be an amazing race. And you know, just credit to the race director, credit to all these drivers, the different strats, it's just been once again an amazing show of talent of South African sim racing and the community. And in the chat, everything's just amazing, and just well done to everybody. Great race. Well done to all the drivers. You know, just the different strats alone threw me off when I saw it in Tier 2. And if you look at the Quetta with the Beetle, I mean, if you look at these guys, with the different manufacturers and different top end speeds, and it just to all come together and showcase a brilliant race this evening. Just amazing stuff from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get the thoughts of you two very shortly, but we will just give you the provisional race results as VSR Vish celebrates his first ever win in SMA. And I mean, Robin, I think that is the case, right? I haven't got my stats wrong. That is his first ever victory, right?
That would be correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. So a delirious VSR driver who finishes at the top of the grid. So VSR Vish with his first ever victory, finishing just over 2.5 tenths quicker than TNR Captain Slow, which I do believe that may well be Captain Slow's best ever result, or at least under Captain Slow.
He stole the stick to me.
and here's our Wolfie claiming the last step on the podium to continue on that fine form that Wolfie is on throughout this Manufacturers Showdown season. TNR Mo Flavor, once again, another great performance from him, finishes in 4th position, ahead of Laquera, who made up for quite a poor round for him in round 4, but making up for lost time, finishing in 5th position ahead of VSR Giller, of what could have been for Giller, as he led for many a lap in this race, finishing just in front of KD the Kai, and another driver that really made a costly mistake to only finish in 7th position. SAGT Nutcap, very surprised to see him down there in P8, but maybe the strategy, didn't think of the strategy that the VSR drivers did, and he'll have to settle for that 8th position in the end, with Sam still finishing in 9th position ahead of TNR Whipperman in 10th, and then the VSR Kennels did manage to get that 11th position ahead of Ray Carter, who ran out of fuel with just a few corners to go. And a race to forget for Latari Racing, who knew he had to get some results in the second half of this season. Unfortunately, gets 13th position and back to the drawing board for Latari. Tusum, what are your thoughts on this round 5 race in the Manufacturers Showdown season?
Yeah, the strategy calls from Team VSR were nothing short of outstanding, and I really can't wait to hear from them, because I'm starting to suspect that their plan wasn't to go to the end of the race. I think they just wanted to stay out until that second spell of rain, because it looked like their fuel lasted just that long. So I kind of suspect that was their strategy all along.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very, very clever strategy from VSR. Like I say, something that I just didn't expect, to be honest. But nevertheless, it went for some drivers, didn't quite pay out for some of the other drivers. But that is racing, and very, very happy for our top 3 drivers I'm trying to find out. It's VSR Fish with his first ever victory with TNR Captain Slow and VSR Wolfie. We'll get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers very, very shortly. However, we are going to go for a short break, but whilst we are gone, for those that did not hear the news, we are sorry to tell you the sad passing of a SMA driver, Danny Zwart of the Sam team, who passed over the weekend. So we have a special tribute video to commemorate him as a driver who was actually competing in Tier 7 this season, followed by some comforting words from our SMA promoter Robin Williams, and then we will actually announce our viewer spot prize winner from last week's stream, as we did smash that 40 like requirement. And lastly, we'll get the reaction of our podium finishers from today's race. So don't go anywhere, we'll be back very shortly. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, HostNet Midstream, Right Recruitment, DC Designs, Slayer Energy, Waggy & Sons, Jetor, Sparko Gaming, Bearded Skull, and Build Mat. Our official sponsors of SMA Season 2, Manufacturers Showdown 2026. Okay, we are back, and yeah, that was footage from round 2 of the Manufacturer Showdown at St. Croix of the late Danny Zwart, who had sadly passed away over the weekend. Rest in peace, fellow SMA member. You will never be forgotten. Robin, have you got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, so when I made this video of Danny, I actually shed a tear because, and for me, I think everybody knows I'm a very emotional person, and losing a member, whether we've spoken to him or whether we've raced with him or whichever the case may be, and I feel the pain for the family and for the SAMS team. And I just want to say that from SMA and from the admin broadcast and from the community ourselves, we all wish you peace through these difficult times, and we are here to support you in any which way we can. If you guys need any assistance, please pick up the phone, call any of the admin team. We are here to help in these moments of difficulties. And we were about to postpone this race. We didn't feel as an admin team that it was right to actually race tonight, but we did contact the SAMS teams, and they said that Danny would not want it any other way than for his team to race this evening. But it is always a sad moment when we lose a member in SMA, and let's just, as a community, let's try and be supportive to the SAMS team, and we wish the family all the best. And Danny, I will meet you at the end line, my brother, at the finish line. I will see you one day, and we will all race together in our next life. But yeah, very emotional, but just our condolences as a community to the Swart family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very sad. It was a huge shock, I'm sure, for everyone that heard the news. And yeah, our biggest sympathy, going out to the family of Danny and all the SAM drivers and everyone in SMA that would have known Danny. It's sad times, but as Robin said, the SAM drivers did want to carry on with the racing because they knew that that is what Danny would have wanted. So, but yeah, our sincere sympathy goes out to the family and friends. Okay, and yeah, on a lighter note, as we did promise every week that every time we do hit the 40 likes or more on the broadcast, we would be giving away some cool prizes. Well, I'm pleased to announce a winner, and a huge congratulations going to Puma Racing Ken Dog on winning the 15 function toolkit for all your sim racing needs, courtesy of BuildMat. Thank you so much for all your continued support, Ken Dog, and thank you to BuildMat too for providing these awesome prizes to our viewers. Now, Ken Dog, if you can hear us, or if you're watching from a past broadcast, then please do message Sean Klassen or Robin Williams your address details, and we can get that sent out to you as soon as we can. And if you'd like to get your hands on more prizes from our amazing sponsors, please do hit the like button. If we hit another 40 likes, then you may get chosen for next week for any one of many prizes that we've got in store for the rest of the season. If you are new, please do hit the subscribe button, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, all right, so with that being said, I think it's time to interview our podium drivers, and what a very surprising race that we saw today. It was craziness, crazy strats. We couldn't predict who was going to finish where, and I've forgotten who our third place finisher was now. It was. Who was it? I've forgotten who our third place was.
I think it was Wolfie.
It was Wolfie, wasn't it? There, thank you, thank you. Sorry, that's how confused I am. That never happens to me. So yeah, Wolfie, congratulations on that third place. What a wacky race we've just seen today. Tell me how you're feeling about getting that third place today.
Good evening, gentlemen. Very satisfied, I must say. It was a very crazy stretch. One that we felt like we need to gamble and see whether it could pay off. And I'm glad we took the gamble. You know, it's sometimes it must work. We could have looked like a total bunch of idiots, to be honest, if it didn't work. But yeah, we gambled on it, and we did practice it a bit earlier this evening, and we thought that we had a good opportunity, and we went for it, and luckily it paid off. So happy with third place.
So you said that you practiced this strategy. So so obviously you would have known that the time loss in the pits was quite significant. So would you say that you was feeling quite confident because it's not the normal strategy, is it? Now, obviously with the rain, it was more of a sharp shower rather than like a big torrential downpour. But was you feeling confident in surviving on a wet track with slick tires?
To be honest, not really. It went wrong terribly in practice a few times, so wasn't all that confident. But in race trim, it's always a bit different. Your senses is a bit heightened, your reflex is a bit quicker, you concentrate a bit more. I did actually manage earlier to make a stupid mistake and lose a lot of time when I was busy changing the settings on my steering wheel, and I missed the braking marker in the rain and I went off. So that cost me quite a bit. Maybe the result could have been a bit different, but yeah, all in all, wasn't too bad. The slicks on the wet track was extremely difficult, but we knew we had a bit of time in hand, and we were working it. And then the rain came at the end. The rain sort of, in our opinion, came one lap too late. If it came one lap earlier, it would have been a different story. So that last lap, they took a lot of time out of us on that last lap before the rain. So that was the only spanner in the works. Otherwise, the perfect strat. But yeah, good result.
Yeah, no, fantastic result for you and for Team VSR in general. So yeah, huge congratulations on a great performance and a risky strategy as well. So I'm going to hand you over to Tusmbox. I'm sure you've got a question or two for our third place finisher, Tusm.
Yes, definitely. Wolfie, congratulations on an amazing podium at Sarthe.
Thanks.
I don't know what it takes to weather that kind of strategy, to tell yourself to stay out on slicks during a torrential downpour. So amazing driving there. I would say about halfway through the race, we thought that you were going to go to the end of the race without stopping. Was that the plan, or was it planned for you to pit once the second spell of rain came?
Yeah, we were a bit of in two minds actually. So when we practiced, we were planning, or I was planning to go slicks all the way to the end. So I would have pitted at lap 7, lap 8, around about there. And I would have put on another set of mediums and then go to the end and weather the storm again. But we couldn't really predict exactly how it was going to end. We did some testing and we had guy running on dries and us on the wets. And it sort of looked like if you do just inters on one of the two wet weather stints, it sort of was the fastest strat. So then just before the race, we said we'll check how quickly the track dries out and then we'll make a call in the race. And luckily it tried out quickly in the first stint, and we made a call to stick it out. If the dry tires permit, or the hard tires, if it allowed us to go to the end, we would have tried it. But I mean, we lost Brandewijn sadly there on that last lap where we ran out of rear tires. My car nearly went off track twice or three times in that last lap with no rear tires. So it was very tricky.
Now, throughout the race, we noticed that your fuel consumption was a lot better than a lot of the other drivers. How did you go about saving your fuel? And if it was with your teammate and you were driving solo, would you have still been able to save that much fuel in that first stint?
Yeah, the big part of the first stint I was on my own. It was only that 2 or 3 laps that I caught up to Vis and Brannas. At the end there at the strat, it was about 3 or 4 laps where I was just like 2.2, 2.3, 2.5 seconds behind them, and I had to use my fuel. But in the early stages of the race, when it was all close, bunched up together, I did a lot of early shifts, used fuel map quite a bit, just to sort of manage it, and it worked out well. I'm glad I made it, to be honest.
Well, again, great drive to get that podium today, and looking forward to see what you do next week at where are we at next week? I just looked it up.
Bathurst.
It's Gr.4 Bathurst.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And lastly, Robin, have you got any thoughts, questions to Wolfie?
Yeah, just one, Wolfie. Like, how do you do testing when coming up with a stat like that when you don't have 14 cars on the track? Because clearly you would need to do proper testing. You would need 14 cars on the track just to check how the track dries out and what you're able to do with the strategy executed this evening. Would that
There's
be?
just a bit of luck involved, Robin, to be honest. So every time we test it, we figure that the track will be dry 1 lap earlier.
Okay.
Will your car make it to there or not? It's my bit of luck, that's it.
Right.
But it's not a strat I think that will ever win. And I think this track sort of leaned towards this because of the long straights. So the track sort of dried out with not too many corners in play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been a mess. I mean, we braked 300 meters before the corner, or 300 meters earlier than usual. And you think, oh, I'm going too slow. And then all of a sudden, you're going too fast, and it's just a mess. But we made it.
So one more question. Between the no chicane and chicane at the start, which one would you prefer now?
The chicane one. That back straight is so bloody boring, to be honest. Yeah, I fall asleep
That long
on that back
straight,
straight.
huh?
Yeah, I can fall asleep, and that Audi was so quick, you had no chance. So yeah, well done to Vis and Captain Slow for a good race, and
Great
all the rest of the
racing.
guys. Yeah, all of
Well
them.
done.
Thanks for a good stream, and then obviously from us as VSR, condolences to Donnie's family and friends.
Thanks.
During this difficult time, but yeah, thanks. It was a lucky race, and I'm just glad we made it.
All right, bud. Good one. Good luck. Well done.
Lucky guys.
Yeah, thank you, Wolfie, and well survived out there, and hopefully Bathurst will bring a bit more entertainment for you.
No, it was thoroughly entertaining. I must say, it was thoroughly entertaining. But yeah, just glad it's over. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
You too, Wolfie. Take care.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, bye. Okay, and then to our second place finisher then, and best result of the season thus far. Best result under Captain Slow. But you know, he has been in this position before. I don't think I need to say for the reasons why, but yeah, brilliant performance from you, Captain Slow. How are you feeling after grabbing that second position today?
Of course, first of all, rest in peace to Dani there, and obviously condolences to the family and the friends and our fellow family crew there, Sam. I know we always tight, we admins, and their admins always get involved. So whatever their pain is, that's our pain. So yeah, all the best to his family there and to the Sam team there, Dani. But no, I almost had it P1 there, but first, with years of experience in SMA, he basically just stuck behind me and put pressure on me, and I got that penalty. And yeah, but P2, my highest result in this season. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for a lot of parts of the race, you was kind of like playing catch up. So I think he was like P4, P5, and then there was quite a large gap. But then, of course, what threw us out in the commentary booth was the strategy of going on the slick tyres of like on a wet circuit. I mean, did you expect that could have been a strategy today?
I checked with the team in the week, and because I'm on control, it's much easier to have slicks on the wet conditions. But I give a lot of credit to the VSR guys for pulling that stint, and I know they're on the wheel. But wow, I mean, they were 20 seconds ahead of me, or 25 seconds ahead of me. I think it was on lap 6 or 7. And then I told the TNR boys in our comms, I think we're in trouble here, boys, with the strat. I don't think we're going to catch them. Unfortunately, Gila spun out there I think on the second last lap or so. But they handle it pretty well. Like I said, these boys are racing for years in this tier and in this event. So that's purely experience there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many questions I could throw at you, Captain Slow, but because I've got two eager commentators in the background, I'm going to throw it over to Robin, because I'm sure he's got a few questions up his sleeve. Robin, any questions you want to throw out there to Captain Slow?
Yeah, the Stig, my main man. Once again.
The Stig.
bringing the Stig back into the track. Well done, but great racing. So when they were 25 seconds in, you never gave up. You never gave up. You still stuck your guns. And my only question is, why the penalty on the final lap? What happened? It couldn't have been the pressure. I know you cool commentators. Don't tell me it was first.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Like I said, these drivers in tier 1, especially the VSR guys, are racing for years in those tiers. And I think the race is only done once the finish line is crossed. And anyone could have settled for P2 or P3 or for a podium. But the good fact was that he kept the pressure on me. And I unfortunately got a penalty, and it is what it is. But whether it's a penalty or not, at the end of the day, it's all about who crosses the line finish. And 100% deserve that victory to first. 100%.
No, but great racing. I mean, from a controller point of view, even though you say
thank you.
He's good that way, but you wouldn't find me that fast on a controller at all. But well done. Also, I think your result and Wolf's result and most certainly Fiss's result throws the points system into a different kettle of fish now, because Nutcap was looking like he was going to be running away. So I think you boys have just opened up the championship right now. So well done to that, because it's just going to make the next rounds way more interesting. So but just well done on a great race.
Yeah, of course, we obviously want that, not one guy running away or one manufacturer running away. So I think that spices up the tournament, and you actually want from 1st till 14, anyone should actually win the competition, so you can get glued 100%. To the TV, that's what we're here for. But I just wish next week again the same podium.
No, but well done. Continue with the momentum, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, Lobs.
Cheers, bud.
And lastly, Tusm, any questions?
Yes. Firstly, congratulations on P2, Captain Slow. Incredible drive. You had mentioned that you were on comms with your team, and you stated that midway through the race, it was looking like P4 was going to be your best, the best result.
Yes.
What was the turning point when? What was the turning point, and what was your mindset as you started fighting for the podium?
Okay, so I think everyone probably had the same stat except the VSR guys, but I think where we maybe changed it up a bit was not fueling the first stint and just put a lap or a lap and a half extra in on the second stint, and which will boost our confidence gaining track position. We knew we had a lighter car. We knew that the VSR guys are probably on hards or mediums, so their tires should be nearly finished, or the fuel should be low, so we maybe undercut them in the fuel. because they did quite a long strat. I think one stop on that stint. So we knew either their tires would be messed up, and that's where we could catch them, or the fuel, because they went pretty long on this strat. And obviously, you need to be consistent because they were, like I said, they were 20 seconds, 25 seconds ahead of us, and they were in each other's slip. So the VSR has been a good known team for working with each other. So all we had to do was be consistent, put the foot down, and just believe in our strat that we worked. Unfortunately, that strat hasn't paid off as well as VSR. But I think not fueling it full or nearly full, saved us a little bit of time there. And we knew we had to light the car, which can obviously affect your tires in a positive way. And yeah.
Now, I know this might open up a can of worms, and I know not everybody likes to think about the what ifs, but knowing what you know now, would you have stuck with the same strategy, or do you think maybe you would have taken a risk and stayed out on the slicks during that first spell of rain?
Look, I wouldn't do it now because I haven't practiced it, but if I heard correctly what Wolfie said, he practiced quite frequently in the week. So I believe if you practice something right through the week, you cannot change on the last minute on race day. So if I had the confidence of doing that practice all week, I would definitely go with that strat. But yeah, it's very difficult to change your mind on the last day. But if I had to practice from example Tuesday up until probably this afternoon on that strat with the slicks, I'll definitely go with that stint. But it's a massive risk, and you know what they say. There's a massive reward, or what is the saying? What Robin helped me here with that saying. So a risk reward, yeah. So not taking risks, you won't get rewarded, yeah. So I mean, we saw Gila spun out there, unfortunately. So yeah, so it could go both ways, yeah. But if you can practice it and master it, then of course.
Well, again, great drive. Good job getting P2, and best of luck to you at Bathurst next week.
Thanks to some. I think it's GR4, if I'm correct, eh?
That is correct.
GR4.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I had you there too, so you didn't know.
You put him on the spot there.
Yeah, I did freeze just a little bit, and I just mentioned that it was Group 4 earlier too. So
okay, all right.
But
caught me off guard.
Yeah, Captain Slow. Yeah, just agreeing to what you said though about fortune definitely rewarding the brave for the VSR drivers, but you stuck your car in it. You were so close from getting that race victory today, but a huge congratulations on a great performance, and hopefully that'll give you the confidence going into the last 3 rounds of the championship. Maybe we can expect you to land a podium more often, maybe.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone in this tier 1 should all believe that they should get a podium or even P1, because these guys in this tier have a lot of confidence. Like Robin said, today's podium actually messes up the standings. So I think everyone in tier 1 has a very good chance of either winning the race or getting a podium. So I think all the confidence in tier 1 are always high and trying to do their best for their teams and the individual selves. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, huge congratulations to you on that second position, and we'll see how you get on in the next round at Bathurst. So good luck to you.
All right, Sean. Thanks, boys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Catch you slow. Take care. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, with his first ever victory in SMA. It's been a long time coming, but a huge congratulations has to go out to Veer Vish with his first ever victory, which will put him in good stead in this championship. You must be feeling absolutely delirious after that performance today.
I tell you what, I'm not sleeping tonight.
Hey, yo.
I'm still shaking over here. Can't believe it. I bet you guys weren't expecting to interview me after qualifying at least. So I'm over the moon. Slack. I told the guys last in chat that I think I'll be sick because it seems like the sick guys get podiums. Because last week Nutcap was sick and then Kennels was sick, but I'm not sick, so I don't know what happened.
You broke that trend, yeah. But certainly, I would say that you may have wished that you were sick towards the end of the race. I'm sure that the palms, the sweat must have been pouring off of you in that final lap. I mean, tell us about your emotions going into that last lap of the race.
No, everything was shaking. Everything was shaking. I call it Elvis leg. So I don't know if my feet's on the throttle on the straight, but for some reason it doesn't want to stay there. Just keep shaking the whole time. So that's my Elvis leg just going. But yes, it was so tight because I'm just out of slip there at the end, and I know I have to keep on it to hopefully get him to make a mistake or Captain Slate to make a mistake. And then on the straight, I was like 1.1 seconds behind or something. And Wolfie said, just keep at it. Maybe he makes a mistake. And then, yeah, unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, he went a bit wide in that hairpin.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately. Yeah, he went a little bit deep out of, or the end of the Mulsanne straight, wasn't it? And unfortunately picked up that half-second penalty. It looked like it was kind of like touch and go for you in terms of the fuel. Was there a lot of fuel saving? Was there a lot of like changing the fuel map to 6 and kind of trying to preserve that fuel, particularly at the end of the race there?
Not at the end of the race, but I did a lot of fuel saving in the first stint. Well, our stint was very long, but in the first stint, what we would do is on the straight, I would overtake Gila or Brandewyn. I would overtake him, and then as soon as he gets out of my slip, I go to fuel map 3 so that he can pass me. I leave a bit of gap, and then I catch him again. So I did a lot of fuel saving that way. And that was great at the end because then I could get 10 laps, which we needed, but not a lot at the end. I feel just enough, and I kept an eye on it to make sure that, listen, I'm not cooking it. But that first lap where Captain Slow passed me, I tried to save a bit behind him just to make sure. But yeah, the Audi is so quick out of the corners. It's hard to stay in slip. So. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sort of dynamic of the race was definitely kind of like timing your maneuvers, like, you know, using that slipstream, trying to come out of the slipstream, try to save some fuel. Obviously, the dynamic of saving tyres I didn't actually expect, and obviously I didn't expect you guys to be running the slick tyres on the wet circuit. That's just craziness to me. Can I just ask as a last question, was you kind of like fearing for your life when the heavy rain came in and you know trying to survive on them slick tyres?
Yes. No, definitely. So in the week we had a race, and Jay actually joined us, taking time out of his super busy schedule as a 20-year-old or 21-year-old, and he joined us for a race. And he actually took the Audi, and we started speculating. Listen, maybe staying out isn't a bad idea because you lose. You basically miss the first, let's say, 30 seconds of the pit, and then the guys will catch you again on the wet stint, but then they'll have to pit again, so you gain 30 seconds from it. And we figured maybe that might work. And then Gila and I were in a lot. I think it was Gila and Kennels and myself, and he actually ran the strat, and I ran the normal. You pit when it's wet strat, and with 3 cars on the track, he almost made it work. So he spun a little bit, but it was super close. So we figured, listen, it might be good. And then this evening at like 5 or 6 o'clock, we had another race, and with only the 4 of us. And there we could see, listen, it's definitely possible. And we worked out some braking markers. So we figured out, listen, at 200 meters, you have to start braking, and you can only brake at half brake force, otherwise you start to slide. So we started figuring out brake points, and that made it a bit easier for us. But yeah, definitely fearing every single corner. The only place we didn't fear was on the straight, which I was glad for this time. We didn't have the chicanes in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I as I say, like putting the race together, I absolutely knew that not having the chicanes and having that long straight, that it could have pulled in like different strategies and stuff. It wasn't kind of like as some people may have like thought that, oh, that's a bit boring, you got this long straight. Well, no, actually it kind of maybe thrown a few different factors in that you may not have thought of before. So it was cleverly done by your team, Vish, and just a huge congratulations to you on a fantastic performance today. I'm going to throw you over to Tusm.
Thank you.
Tusm, have you got any questions?
Absolutely. First, Fish, congratulations on an incredible win. Your driving out there today was superb, to say the least.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you're qualifying. You ended up in P12. Did you have any issues during qualifying? Was it the car? Walk us through what happened there.
No issues really. I think I was a bit too tentative. This one-shot qualifying hasn't been the best for me. Normally I like to put a banker in and then push really hard on the second one, but this obviously changes it a bit. So if you look at my qualifying, and it hasn't been fantastic at all. But one thing that is fantastic, or I think it is the Lambo's race pace seems to be solid. It seems to be a good overall pick. We knew from testing this week that the Audi is going to be super quick because JD took it and he hasn't driven for like 3 months or whatever, and he already was very much on pace. So we knew the Audi was going to be quick, and that's when we sort of looked at a little bit of different strategies. But I've been struggling with qualifying a little bit. In practice, I've never felt as consistent as I currently do in any season. So I feel like my pace should be there, but for some reason in quali I'm not that fast.
I touched on this a little bit with Wolfie. Going 10 laps on that first stint with just one tank of fuel. You guys had to stretch that fuel tank quite a bit. Would you have had to pivot your strategy if you didn't have Gilla and Wolfie with you throughout most of that stint?
I don't think I would have pivoted. It would have been a bit slower, I think, because on the straight we could slingshot each other a little bit. And it's always much funner, you're more engaged, so you concentrate a bit better when people are around you. So I think in that essence that helped. It was unfortunate. So during our testing, the rain always came at the end of lap 9, where this time it came at the end of lap 10. But I think we were quicker. I think just our race pace in the race was actually much quicker than our practice. So that's maybe where we missed it a little bit. But if the rain came on end of lap 9, I think we were on for maybe a TNR, VSR podium, which would have been great. So it's unfortunate for Gila there.
Now, this last question I'm asking for everyone, but this is mainly for me. How did you survive on those slicks when it got wet?
You put traction all the way to 5. If you even see a bit of rain, that was just precaution. But we saw that the heavy rain came on the straight. Well, on the first stint, it came at the straight, and then the second one, well, because it was so late, it actually came at a bit of a dodgy place through the S's at the end. But we basically put traction on 5, and I mentioned earlier, we actually went and got brake markers for the wet track on slicks. So we knew on, let's say, at the end of the main straight, on 200 meters, you start braking, but you only brake half the force, half brake force, so that you don't get the tire squeal or you don't lock up and then you just go straight. So we figured out a bit of that, which was very helpful. I think because we kept talking to each other. Remember, brake here. Remember, keep it tight because the dry line is on the inside. Stuff like that. So teamwork was really crucial there.
Well, again, brilliant drive. Again, congratulations on P1, and wish you all the best of luck at Bathurst next week.
Thank you.
And lastly, Robin, any questions? What are your thoughts towards Vish?
Yeah, you guys got quite a cheek to ask me. What do I have to ask him? You've asked him everything. I had no idea what to ask him. You know? But coming back to your first comment of us, did I think you could have won it? I always think that you are able to win a race. You've always been on pace. You've always been top split. And if I think about it, just like Bai said in the chat, look at your name. We should be naming you Fazwater Tuner from today onwards. You were fast on the water, buddy. So, just like I said, everybody's, I think, asked the relevant questions. Just well done on a well-executed race. Pity about Brannis there once again. Brannis always has this opportunity, but somehow, I don't know if it's commentator's curse, but yeah, no, great racing. Was looking very interesting with 1, 2, and 3 VSR boys with 2 laps to go, but unfortunately that never transpired. But just well done, well executed, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you. I think one thing that would have been interesting was also, I think Kai was on a medium strategy, I think.
He was.
So I think his plan was to go all the way to the end on his mediums, which would have been also interesting. But I think he had a couple of spins and stuff. I haven't checked the replay yet. But that would have been interesting. And then, so it was a good race. Thanks for your comments, Robert. It makes me feel a lot better. Last week I had a bit of a amateur moment, taking out Whipperman.
We all have our days, but you've been for years now, so just take this confidence into the next race, and I'm sure you'll do well.
Thanks, Robin. I appreciate it.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, this is all part of racing, Vish. We make mistakes. It doesn't always go to plan, but today was your day. And it was a phenomenal performance. As I mentioned, fortune favours the brave, and it was a very brave strat. And I'm just so happy for you that the amount of practice that would have had to go in to know exactly what your braking markers were, how much you needed to turn the wheel, how much to apply the throttle and apply the brakes. It really came to fruition for you, where it just worked out pretty much perfectly for you. So massive congratulations to you on a great victory, and hopefully that'll give you the confidence in the final few rounds of the championship.
No, thank you. The next the next couple of races looks really exciting. Bathurst is a favorite of ours, or a favorite of Richard. So hopefully he's been back on the wheel. He started racing with us a little bit tonight. So hopefully he can come in and give us some tips, because he's always super fast on that track. So the rest of the season looks phenomenal. And then just on a side note, I found out that I'm going to be a dad soon. Well, not soon, at the end of the year. So now at least my child will have a SMA race winner as a father. So that's I'm sure he's going to brag about that for years to come. So that's lekker.
Well, congratulations on that, first, and
thanks, Robin.
I'm sure you're going to enjoy this year's racing, because come next year, well
sorry,
done.
I cut out there, but thanks, Robin. I appreciate it.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, and congratulations, Vish, on that news, and maybe a future SMA champion in years to come, or quite a few years to come. But yeah,
yeah, definitely. No, I all the VSR guys. There goes my Fanatec. Can't buy one now. So, yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant stuff. But no, massive congratulations to you today, and yeah, we look forward to seeing how you get on next round.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for the season. Thanks for the combos. It's been amazing, and hopefully I get to chat to you guys again in the future.
Appreciate it, Vish, and yeah, have a great evening, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Awesome. Cheers.
Okay, so that was the thoughts of our top 3 drivers, and yeah, some interesting things mentioned. Obviously, yeah, as I said, I've never seen that before. You know, drivers using the slick tyres on the wet track. It was performed to near enough perfection for the VSR drivers. Obviously, commiserations to Gilla, with Kai as well spinning pretty much at the same time, wasn't it? Which was rather unfortunate, but yeah, a very, very fascinating race. And I did see from JDJ as well, he actually said this was possibly the top 10 best race in SMA, which was actually quite surprising to hear. So I'm glad that people did enjoy the race, and yeah, and definitely looking forward to what is going to be a very exciting championship now, because that has thrown the championship on its head now, which, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that fares for next round in terms of the standings. So yeah, brilliant job by the top 3 drivers. And yeah, just before we shut off this stream, for those that haven't already hit that like button, please do so. If we do hit them 40 likes for the broadcast, we will be giving out another viewer spot prize. So if you haven't already done so, please do hit that like button, and also do subscribe to all our socials at Sim Motorsport Association, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or sign up to Discord if you would like to get yourselves involved in future championships, and making sure that you message our SMA and GT7 promoter Robin Williams for further details on that one. The email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. But if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. We are fast approaching that 500 goal for SMA, a big achievement for SMA. So if you haven't already done so and you have enjoyed the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the support here in SMA. But yes, I need to get your final thoughts from the race today, and possibly driver of the day as well. So I'm firstly going to come to Tusmbox. What are your thoughts today?
So today's race was incredible, but every race so far has been. A lot of really interesting strategy calls, and, you know, it all accumulated in that one final lap. Driver of the day, I'm gonna give to Gr.3. He did amazing things in that little Beetle today. With as low as its top end was, I'm genuinely surprised he managed a top 5 finish. So yeah, my driver today goes out to Gr.3.
Okay, interesting. And Robin, what are your thoughts on this race? Did you expect a race that we saw today, and who is your driver of the day?
You know, I'm just going through all the tier chats, and it was very interesting to see kind of like firsthand what the boys think about, I'm talking about the entire community, thought about tonight's race. And just judging on what's being said, firstly, there's quite a few apologies, which is nice to see. But there's then also mentions of just an amazing track and car combination. Today, I'm going to give my driver of the day to the race director. And the reason for that is because, you know, for years we've been racing And for years we've been doing this track with the chicane, obviously. And I was first one to doubt the no chicane thing, but after doing some practices with my team, I realized that it puts in another type of challenge with regards to, do you want to feel so down the straight? Do you want to lean your car to 6? Do you want to try and overtake? If you look at how badly the Citroen was, for instance, overall, I think all the drivers did brilliantly. I'm talking about the entire community for the challenges that they were presented in this race. And for the person who gave us the opportunity to go through that type of race, I think I'm going to give it to you, Sean. Well deserved. I think the combination, at first I thought, oh my God, well, it was the same like with the seating of the BMW. I kind of like went, oh my God, no, not this. But it turned out to be, I think, a great combination. I'd like to see it in the future. So my drive of the day would go to the race day.
Well, I really appreciate that, Robin. I did not expect that at all.
No, but if you look at the community and what the community is saying about this track and car combination, I think everybody got challenged, and that is what SMA wants to do. We want to push our drivers. We want to get them to try these crazy stats. You imagine on slicks. I mean, who would have thought that? So you've taken the drivers to a level where they want to go on slicks and they want to test if they can actually do a stat like that, which is insane. I've never seen something like that before. So it's new and it gives us more insight into what is possible in the game, and I think it required this type of track and car combination to get us there. And so for the entire community to improve their skill set, we needed this, and so I think it's a well-deserved driver of the day. It would be the race director.
Okay, well, I can't really say that I'm a driver, but we can call myself man of the day then, right?
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, no, well done, Sean. And to Tusm as well. The production has always been amazing. You guys make sure that our viewers are well entertained, and it's just great to see that once again we pulled off another amazing round of sim racing. Excited for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And what that has done is really set up to be a really exciting championship, because of course Nutcat was leading the championship by 14 points going into this round, and the grid finishes at the end has really shaken it up, especially as Latari also coming 13th in the end. So he's running out of drop rounds, Latari, because he said last week that the result at Eiger Norvand he'll take as a drop round. Now he's going to have to take that as points gained or lost, really. So yeah, it's certainly going to shape up to be a very, very exciting end to the season, that is for sure. With coming up next week, if you didn't already know, we are at the mountainous peaks up in the clouds of Mount Panorama, Bathurst, in the last of our Group 4 manufacturer races this season. And what a way to bow out of the Group 4 machinery as well. Last Group 4 race of the season with the Group 3. The last Group 3 race will be round 7 in the manufacturers portion of the season. So do make sure to tune in next week, Monday the 22nd of June at 8:45 p.m. Central Africa time, to find out what twists and turns could be in store for the drivers. But Robin and Tusm, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you alongside me in the commentary booth today. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves, and look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Tusm.
Absolutely. Thank you both.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, what a fantastic race we've seen today as things are starting to heat up in this championship. It is myself, Sean Madden, aka Flawed Genius Gaming, signing out for another week. So stay safe out there, look after yourselves, viewers, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye for now.
Lights out, engines wake the night. GT thunder burning bright. Manufacturer starts to rise. Fire reflected in our eyes. Carbon fiber, painted scars. GT4 and GT3 stars. Manufacturers side by side. Every driver born to fight. Pit lane pressure, countdown screams. Living faster than our dreams. Slipstream pulling through the rain. Milliseconds decide the game.
Headlights cut through clouds of smoke. Every overtake feels close. Front straight shaking from the sound. Thousands screaming all around.
No fear when the tires slide. No sleep on this midnight ride. One chance to become immortal now. Feel the circuit shake somehow. Full throttle, take the lead. Faster than the eye can read. GT legend chasing light. Racing wars ignite tonight. Slipstream closer, door to door. Hear the engine start to roar. Checker flag above the crowd. Podium dreams are calling loud.
We were made for speed. Every heart still bleeds.
Push it faster, take the corner. Slipstream hunter.
Cross the line.
Push it faster, take the corner. Slipstream hunter.
Cross the line. Yeah. GT3 monster with the arrow attack. GT4 pressure while I'm chasing the pack. Every lap dangerous, no room to breathe. One wrong turn and you lose the lead. Manufacturer battle turning savage tonight. Different colors on the grid, but the goals are like AMG hunting while the Porsche stays near. McLaren in the mirrors make the whole crowd cheer. Late break dive on the inside lane. Tires smoke rising while we fight through pain. Draft so close I can hear your gears. Still standing tall after all these years. Pit crew fast with the strategy calls. One clean stop and we're breaking them all. From the green light launch to the final attack. Now the whole damn field trying to hold us back.
Adrenaline under skin. Every loss becomes a win. Final sector, final chance. Fate is written in this day. Full throttle, take the lead. Faster than the eye can read. GT legends chasing light. Racing wars ignite tonight. Slipstream closer, door to door. Hear the engine start to roar. Checkered flag above the crowd. Podium dreams are calling loud.
We were made for speed. Every heart still bleeds.
Through the sparks and shattered rain, we return again, again.
Every corner, every scar.
Made us who we really are.
Hear the anthem of the track.
No turning back.
Last lap pressure.
Full attack. Drivers ready. Engine scream. One more lap.